Which was the first Styx album that I bought? This is the Rock and Roll Weatherman. My name is Sean Morrison. And those that have been following my channel and those that do know me on a personal basis know that I got into Styx literally after the band broke up. We're talking about 1985 when Dennis DeYoung and Tommy Shaw had their debut solo albums out, which came both out in 1984 respectively. And the first album that Mr. Morrison bought from Styx was the Courtney Act live album. Mr. Morrison felt it was like a greatest hits album. It was one of the greatest hits. The popular songs from Styx, their live songs. And then, of course, they had the studio track for Music Time. And then Mr. Morrison was hoping for a Styx reunion because he wanted to see the band live. And finally, that did happen in 1990 without Tommy Shaw. In 1996, Tommy Shaw returned to Styx, has been with the band ever since. And you know everything after that. But that was the first Styx album I got, and I was always going to be listening to Courtney Act all the time. I actually even rented the video out from the local video store a few times. So eventually that got released on DVD, which I got in like 2005. So if anybody that's looking for the Courtney Act, it is now on DVD and features extra videos, one for Music Time and one for Haven't We Been Here Before, because people do ask that every so often. And then basically I started buying the previous Styx albums after that, which included, one was also a greatest hits compilation from the RCA Greatest Hits, Best of Styx. And then eventually there was the first album, the second album, eventually got them. Before that, I believe the first actual Styx studio album that I did get in 1985 was The Grand Illusion. That came first, then was Cornerstone. Then after that was Pieces of Eight. And then within the next 2 years, also Paradise Theater followed, and the next couple of years, Equinox and Crystal Ball, even Kilroy was even in there a little bit before that. Actually, I got Kilroy in 1985, I remember now, right a little bit after The Grand Illusion, but you know what I mean. I did eventually get all these albums before they broke up, then eventually got my hands on some of the stuff from the Wood and Nickel era. If you're not subscribed to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel, please do so. Everyone else out there subscribe. We thank you very much for the continued love, honor, and support. It's greatly appreciated. Sean Morrison Enterprises is the place to go if you'd like to make a small donation to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel. And then eventually was able to find some live Styx concerts from different tours over the years, back in the 90s on audio, but it was on cassette. But not sure where those cassettes now are in my possession. Could be in storage, because I do have some music stuff in storage, but besides the point, I guess I got the live album at the time because, like I said, there wasn't a greatest hits record released through A&M, and then you wanted to hear all the good popular songs and everything at the time. And I was familiar with, believe it or not, I'm like, I've heard Come Sail Away plenty of times before, because when I was younger it was a hit. When you're not listening to music all the time at the time, that's how it is. Sometimes you might not remember a song here and there, but that's how it was. Cognac being my first album from Styx that I did purchase. A few people did ask me that question. I decided to do a video on it. Then, of course, followed the solo careers after that as well. It was hard to get James Young's stuff on for a while when it was in print. Just wish they would put his solo music material back in print as well. So, friends, what was the first Styx albums that you guys bought? Was it something like I did with a live album? Was it studio album? Even if was it even up to 1995 a greatest hits record? Let's share your stories here. The Edge of the Century I got when it came out, and I even finally got Crystal Ball around that there as well. I even have the. I even had. It's got to be somewhere. The Styx Classics, which was released through A&M. It didn't include. Lady only include the A&M songs. They were doing that with a lot of artists that were on A&M. I forget others that were on there, but I know Supertramp was one. So Cognac was the first Styx album that Mr. Morrison bought. What was yours, friends? Shame, shame, shame.